Alright, it's time for a Pokemon Nuzlocke video. For this Nuzlocke, I'm going to be leading off with Snivy. As you can see, Snivy, in my opinion, is probably the best starter in this generation. So I usually go it. But for the purposes of this Nuzlocke, I'm going to be boxing Snivy. And I'm going to be catching the first three Pokemon that I see. And I'm going to be picking one of those three to be my new starter. So let's get started with the battle. I'll let off with Leer to lower Oshawtt's defense, and then proceed to tackle it to death. This one was actually pretty close, but I used Tail Whip instead of Tackle. So I can easily level up because of 2 times experience. So next up is Cherim, or Charon, or whatever his name is, and this Tepig. I don't bother with Leer this time because his defense is already pretty low, and I just proceed to tackle him to death. But he seems pretty stuck on Tail Whip, so I just finish him off with Tackle. And another level up in Vine Whip. Alright, now our first of 3. First one is Muck. I don't like Muck. I don't even know if he's usable or not. But, I mean, you know, he's a giant pile of sludge. I mean, it's terrible. Why would you use him? So, not a fan of my first pull. Next up is Beldum. Now, for those of you who don't know, Beldum is the Psychic Steel type, which is really good typing. He leaves him with only 2 weaknesses, Fire and Ground. And he turns into Metagross eventually. And Metagross is hella good, so yeah, ignore that second Beldum. Sometimes the randomizer does that, gives you doubles. So I just run away from him and try again. Alright, and my third choice is Zebstrika. Now I was very tempted to go Zebstrika because Zebstrika is basically an electric Rapidash. And you know, it's an electric Zebra. How can you go wrong? But I really wanted that Metagross, so I decided to keep Beldum. Alright, now my first pull for this route is a Flygon, and I was very excited about Flygon. I love Flygon. Flygon's, you know, pretty good, but I'm just a fan of him. He's pretty good typing. He has Levitate. So, you know, I'm a fan of the dragon types in general, so... but yeah, I went to name him Larry because, well, he looks like a Larry. All right, next up is our first battle with N. And his level 7 Purloin. I'd grinded a few levels, so I believe I was level 5 when I went to battle him. It's not too difficult. All I can really do is scratch. And Growl doesn't work because of clear bodies, so I don't have to worry about stat reductions. And he goes down without too much of a fight. Alright, our next Pokemon is Cubone. Now, Cubone's garbage. And not to mention that, I already have a ground type, so he's doubly useless. So Cubone's been going in the box, and he's staying in that box. Except for the time, you know, I took him out to, you know, in the event of Bide. But anyway, so our next trainer battle here is Bianca. Bianca sends out a level 6 Lillipup, and I proceed to take down. And anyway, he uses a potion. So I have to do an additional takedown. I actually have to heal because I'm down to 8 HP. Also in Nuzlocke's, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, if a Pokemon gets knocked out, then you can't use them for the rest of the game. So And I'm running a Beldum, which has an attack that damages itself. So the entire game, when I was using Beldum, I was holding my breath. I'm like, please don't get knocked out. Please don't get knocked out. So anyway, we got Cherim again. And he leads off as his Tepig. And for a minute there, I forget that, you know, Beldum is weak to Tepig. So I lead off with a takedown. But thankfully, he wastes his turn on a tail whip. You know, after he heals from a berry. Gotta love clear body, man. So anyway, I wise up to the fact that, you know, I'm weak to him. And I switch out to Flygon, or as he's nicknamed, Larry. And Larry takes an Ember for minor damage. And Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom is actually pretty good for this point in the game because, you know, everybody's HP is pretty low, but it quickly becomes pretty useless. And Feint Attack to take for the kill. Level up for Larry. And for Beldum too, apparently. Yeah, as you can see, I was really trying to grind Beldum up to level 20 so he can evolve and learn Metal Claw and Confusion. I was thinking about keeping him as Beldum, but after much deliberation, I decided against it and chose to evolve him. You know, spoiler alert. So he uses Assist, and thankfully he comes out Tackle instead of Ember. And that's Cherim. Alright, now our first gym battle. I would let off with Snivy, so I'm going to be facing the fire guy. I don't know his name, but, you know, I'm sure someone does. So anyway, for this one, I decided to lead off with Flygon. Because I didn't want Chance Beldum getting taken out. He uses Work Up, and I kill him with Sonic Boom. Gotta love the 2 times XP. Again, he wastes a turn with Work Up, but I miss with my next Sonic Boom, and he hits me with Incinerate for minor damage. And another Sonic Boom for the win. Alright, so that's our first gym badge in the pocket. Yeah, I also used Alt-TM, so. Alright, so I went to, after my first gym badge, I went to Dream Forest to get the Dream Mist and to catch our next Pokemon. Yeah, they talk a bit and go off and... Oh look, it's Dream Mist. Yay! They pooped it out. Probably should have edited this out, but oh well, it's in there, it's done, it's over with. And first step into the grass, and I get a Lugia. I actually, when I first found it, I was actually like, yes, Lugia. Anyway, you gotta love it when you pull a legendary on Nuzlocke. But anyway, oh, I also previously I bought 10 Pokeballs, so I had a Premier Ball to use on Lugia. Also, I'm using 100% catch rate for, just such an emergency. And I proceed to name him. What do I name him? Come on. Oh, yeah, I remember now. Osprey. All right. So that's that. And also, probably something I should have cut out, but I wanted to leave time to talk. Did a bit of grinding, and Beldum's at level 16, getting closer and closer to that level 20 mark. It's just unfortunate because Beldum takes a lot of experience to level up. But anyway, they make short work of those purloins. All right, our next battle with Charum. He's leveled up a bit, but basically has the same team and the same formation, and I forget about that, and I lead off with Beldum. But time to give Osprey, let him spread his proverbial wings. And I proceed to gust his Tepig. And it does a unfortunately low amount of damage, but Lugia's defense is pretty high, so he's able to tank a few hits. At least better than Tepig is. I'd be very concerned if Lugia lost against a Tepig. Even like a Tepig that's higher level than he is. I'd just be like, it just wasn't meant to be Lugia. It just wasn't meant to be. Alright, so I continue the Beldum grind. At least with Purloin, it's pretty easy. Not much defense. Doesn't really have any options at this level for attack. Ooh. And yeah, so that's our trainer battle. And see the Team Plasma Grunts run by. I'm sorry about this, guys. I'll edit the next video a bit better. Alright, so our next Pokemon is a Rhydon. Now, I was actually initially really excited for Rhydon. It's a pretty good pull. But I got Beldum for my defensive wall. And B, I have a Flygon for my ground type. So Rhydon's going in the box. But anyway, I catch him just in case one of them faints or something. What do I name him? I forget now. Like, I just played this. Oh, yeah, Lurch. But yeah, I just played this and I completely forgot everything about it. All right, so I went to the cavern and took out the two Team Plasma Grunts. I actually lost. I actually wasn't paying attention when I was using Beldum, and he used Bide, and I used Takedown, and I had to switch out to Snivy in order for him to take the Bide, which killed him, which otherwise would have killed Beldum. And I was like, oh, so close. Hate Bide, man. It's the worst, particularly early in the game. Like, if you take a Bide, you're gonna die, and that's it. All right, so our next Pokemon is Granbull, and well, Granbull isn't the worst. I've never used him because I find his stats pretty underwhelming, but for Nuzlocke, he's not too bad. A lot of attack, not much else, but he does have a really good move set. I believe he has Charm and Scary Face. So, and he has an ability that raises speed if he's under a status ailment. Alright, and for our next pull, it's a Nidorino. It's unfortunate because his ability is Rivalry. And I don't know if Rivalry is good or not, but personally I'm not too fond of it. I prefer the more consistent damage and don't have to worry about, oh, is their Pokemon male or female? But anyway, so I decided to box them, even though I do like, I was about to say Kingdra, Nidoking. But again, I have a ground type, so it's kind of a moot point. Getting a lot of ground types in this one, I find. But yeah, I named him Lackey. He's a sassy lackey, but he's also going in the box. Oh yeah, also I have a box hack, so I can access my Pokemon box from anywhere. I got a few of those hacks. Just like one or two. But anyway, next up is Shelder. Now, I actually lucked out with Shelder because he has Skill Link. And so Icicle Spear and Skill Link, enough said. If you know Pokemon, that is. But yeah, so I was pretty pleased with that. After I caught him, I did some major grinding. It took me about an hour to do. But I got all my guys up to level 20 in preparation for the next gym, which, in my opinion, for a second gym, is probably the hardest in any Pokemon series that I've played. So yeah, taking that Icicle Spear up there. Gotta love that 125 power attack, out of the box is pretty good. All right, now it's time for our second gym badge. This was a long time coming for me. So I was ready with my newly evolved Metang. So leads off with Herdier. And I believe his Herdier has Intimidate, yeah. But I have Clear Bodies, so anyway, lead off with Metal Claw. Does moderate damage. He misses with Takedown. I hit Metal Claw again. He connects with Takedown for minor damage. And Super Potions. So I use Confusion. And begin Metal Clawing his ass again. I get lucky with a crit, and he goes down without too much of a fight. Next up is Watchog, and Watchog is actually, at this level, Watchog is actually quite a threat. He has Retaliate, which thankfully he does not use in this instance. He has Hypnosis, Confuse Ray, and Crunch. So a very threatening moveset, and stats that aren't too terrible for like it's a rat, or weasel or something. But anyway, he misses his first Hypnosis, but manages to connect with the second one. And I didn't realize he had Crunch at this point, so that does neutral damage to me. So, and I'm asleep. So I just try to wake up and scary face him to lower his speed while he continues to use crunch. And managed to wake up and use scary face, but I'm already on death's door. So I decided to switch out to underbite. And so I don't care if underbite dies, but underbite actually does work. I use charm to lower his attack, basically crippling Watchog. Uses retaliate for minor damage. And I proceed to headbutt him, which if I had known he would have killed him, I would have just let off with that. But whatever, a win's a win. And now I have my second badge. So there we go. And that's the hardest battle out of the way. Well, the hardest for the time period, I guess. So I'm pretty excited about that. Anyway, so that's it for my video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye.